Chosen ones, this video will find you when you are ready for the next level. It may surprise or even shock you to hear what I'm about to say, but if you're seeing this video right now, it's no accident. We stand on a threshold where the walls you once thought were permanent barriers are finally cracking, revealing a path so electrifying your heart can hardly keep pace. You've sensed it in your bones, an awakening that feels both like an ancient promise and an urgent future. This is the moment your deepest self has been waiting for, the instant where the illusions fall away and your power rises. Every doubt they tried to plant in your mind, every obstacle that threatened to diminish your spirit, now fades before the unstoppable wave of your next level ascension. If your pulse is pounding with recognition, like this video, subscribe and comment 77 feet below to declare you're ready to break through every barrier and surge into the destiny that has been calling your name all along. Chapter 1. The path you almost lost sight of. Long before you arrived at this crossroads of spiritual ignition, you knew there was a bigger story to your life than the routine chapters playing out before your eyes. Maybe it surfaced in fleeting daydreams, visions of a more expansive future you could almost taste. Or maybe it came in quiet, introspective moments when something inside whispered, you were made for more. Over time, though, you might have shoved those whispers aside, swallowing the false narrative that you were just one more person trudging through an indifferent world. But the universe never stopped beckoning. Maybe you noticed recurring patterns in your struggles, unjust obstacles, repeated heartbreak, inexplicable pressures. You wondered why certain hardships kept returning, each time forging you with greater resilience. It wasn't a coincidence. These trials were nudges from the cosmic tapestry, each one shaping you for a purpose that demanded uncommon strength. Now the illusions that made you second-guess your capacity are melting. In place of confusion stands the quiet certainty that your life has always been about arriving right here, right now, at this pivot. You may have known adversity in ways that tested your faith, your sanity, your self-worth. Yet each time you rose, you discovered new aspects of yourself. Depths of empathy, flickers of courage, or unwavering belief in something greater guiding your steps. That synergy between your own grit and the guiding hand of a higher force began to shape your identity as a chosen one. Yet modern distractions can easily dim that revelation, luring you with trivial pursuits or illusions of comfort. Life flows on, and you almost lose sight of the path that once sparked your imagination. Even as you drift, the path remains, waiting for you to lock eyes with it. Today is that day. The illusions swirl but can no longer hide the road your spirit has craved. As you lift your head, the synergy inside roars awake, a primal spark that defies any attempt to bear your destiny under normality. Reclaiming your view of that path might feel both exhilarating and intimidating. After all, stepping onto a higher plane means bidding farewell to the smallness that once felt so safe. So let the illusions crack. Let them shatter around your feet like brittle glass. The voices that told you you're not ready for it, that it's not the right time, fade in the face of a deeper truth. If you weren't ready, this moment wouldn't be singing through your veins like thunder. And yes, some might try to coax you back into the box they feel comfortable putting you in. But the door to that box has swung open. You can't unsee the horizon that beckons beyond. This path you almost lost sight of is the reason you're breathing a little faster, your pulse surging with anticipation. You sense that by stepping onto it wholeheartedly, you finally honor the richest dimension of who you are. You're done with half measures and timid acceptance. The call is clear, and so is your answer, to stride forward no matter the cost, trusting that your next level, it is not a mirage but a sure destiny that stands firm, awaiting your bold approach. Chapter 2. Breaking the limits you thought were real. Once you decide to claim your next level, the first illusions to crumble are the limits you swore were absolute. Whether they were beliefs about your abilities, the constraints of time and money, or fear-based judgments from people who never dared to dream big, these illusions built invisible fences around your potential. Each time you reached for something beyond them, you felt an internal recoil, as though crossing that line was impossible or even forbidden. But now your spirit swells with a new clarity, one that challenges every impossible you've been fed. You come to see that those fences were made of fear, hammered in place by cynics and skeptics, and reinforced by your own moments of doubt. Maybe a friend told you that nobody from your background ever reached those heights, or a teacher laughed at your ambitions, or your own family believed you should stick to what's safe. Layer upon layer of self-limiting narratives shaped your worldview until stepping beyond them felt like an act of rebellion, which it is, yet a rebellion wholly necessary for the chosen one you are meant to be. The moment you decide to question those limits, it's like discovering a hidden password to a locked door. You recall instances where you already shattered small boundaries. Maybe you overcame a fear of public speaking or defied an expectation by excelling in a field you never studied. Those breakthroughs were not flukes, but hence proof that you can blow past any line that illusions have drawn. Each line you cross multiplies your confidence for the next. Soon you realize your entire reality has been a lesson in how illusions crumble when met with determined faith. As you proceed, the watchers of your life, naysayers, manipulative acquaintances, even your own old persona, grow uneasy. They can't fathom how you're shrugging off the limitations they insisted were ironclad. In truth, they were powerless all along. You, chosen one, simply needed to remember that your synergy with the infinite overrides man-made constraints. Where they see a roadblock, you sense an invitation to innovate. Where they expect you to flinch, you sense a chance to display courage. Nothing about you remains predictable in the eyes of those who cling to the old order. Don't be startled if tensions escalate around you. Breaking personal limits often triggers confrontation. Some might accuse you of being unrealistic or selfish. Others might attempt emotional manipulation, claiming you owe it to them to stay small. But you have a deeper loyalty now to the calling that resonates in your bones. If you falter out of guilt or compliance, you'll only postpone the breakthrough that is destined for you. So stand firm. The act of transcending limitations is not an act of disregard for others. It's an assertion that illusions do not define your life. The more you break these phantom barriers, the more unstoppable you become. Your next level identity forms from the ashes of each perceived limit, molding you into a living, breathing testament to what happens when faith, vision, and relentless action collide. You carry the synergy in your eyes, in your posture, and every word that resonates from your soul. And yes, many will whisper questions, some out of curiosity, others out of envy. But their opinions no longer bind you. You have a date with destiny, and no fence of illusion can keep you from crossing into a realm where your capabilities match the grandeur of your ambition. Chapter 3. The echo of those who tried to sway you. Even as you liberate yourself from artificial boundaries, echoes of past voices may linger. These are the people who tried to steer you off course, sometimes subtly, sometimes aggressively. Friends who insisted your dreams were silly, mentors who scoffed at your unique ideas, colleagues who minimized your achievements, or even family who demanded you follow a conventional template. You might have felt the sting of betrayal or the ache of being misunderstood, but then you soldiered on, bearing the hurt to keep moving. Now, as you approach your next level, their voices resurface like distant echoes in a canyon. They may not hold immediate power, but they remind you of the times you doubted yourself. Perhaps you pause in your momentum just for a moment to wonder, were they right? But in your heart, a deeper resonance answers. Now, they never saw the whole you. They only perceived fragments of your potential, overshadowed by their own limitations and fears. Their attempts to sway you were less about you and more about their inability to expand their own vision. You come to realize how orchestrated some of these manipulations were. A snide comment here, a well-placed discouragement there, all meant to keep you in a comfort zone that served their illusions. But illusions crumble when faced with unyielding truths. Each step you take forward reveals that they had no real claim over your destiny. What's left is their baffled confusion as they watch you do the exact things they deem impossible. That confusion might morph into envy or desperation to re-enter your life as a supporter. Yet caution is warranted. Not everyone who returns does so with pure motives. Some might want a piece of your newfound success or spiritual clarity. Others come out of guilt, seeking closure for how they once contributed to your doubts. You can offer compassion without re-welcoming them into your innermost circle. Remember, your energy is sacred, especially now. If they come with sincerity, you'll sense it. If they come with hidden agendas, your inner sight will pick it up quickly. As you process these echoes, let them serve as milestones that mark how far you've advanced. Where once abiding come and might have rocked your confidence for days, you now see it as a ghost of the past, scarcely capable of disturbing your peace. You realize that the power they had over you was always borrowed from your own uncertainty. Once you repossess your confidence, their currency of influence evaporates. That's the unstoppable synergy fueling your ascent, an internal reallocation of your energy back to its rightful owner, you. You might also discover a surprising surge of gratitude for those who tried to sway you. Without their pressure, you might not have been compelled to fortify your will or sharpen your vision. In a paradoxical sense, they forced you to define yourself more clearly, forging resilience you now use to conquer mountains. So you bless them from a distance and continue onward. The echoes grow fainter with every forward stride, leaving only the hush of possibility as you ready yourself for the next leap. Chapter 4. Meeting your higher vision. At a certain point, the illusions fall away so thoroughly that you glimpse your higher vision in a flash of unfiltered clarity. It's not just a goal or a daydream, but a blueprint beaming directly from your soul. You realize that the next level isn't about a singular achievement. It's about embodying a state of being that revolutionizes everything. Your mindset, relationships, creative endeavors, even how you breathe and move through the world. And though you may have conjured partial visions in the past, what you see now glows with a transcendent certainty you can't ignore. This vision might arrive in a burst of insight, a moment of stunned silence where an inner voice whispers, "This is who you are." Or it might bloom steadily, day by day, as though someone is gently pulling back the veil. Once it's in view, you cannot unsee it. Any life route that doesn't match this frequency feels hollow, like keeping a weaker version of yourself. Before, you might have accepted half measures or compromise for convenience. Now, that's impossible. Your heart rebels at the thought, telling you it's time to step fully into the light of your calling. On the practical side, meeting your higher vision stirs shifts in priorities. You might find yourself reorganizing your schedule, changing diet or habits, or reevaluating personal connections. Activities that once occupied your hours lose appeal because they no longer resonate with the trajectory you feel pulling you forward. Some might label you distant or obsessed, but you recognize you're simply aligning your surroundings to nurture what's awakening within. You have a date with destiny, and you can't waste time flirting with distractions that keep you tethered to the old order. Paradoxically, stepping closer to this vision can trigger waves of emotion, excitement laced with fear. You might ask, am I really capable of this? Yet each time that question surfaces, the synergy within you surges, reminding you that you've always been meant for exactly this expansion. The watchers, those old illusions, or any sabotage attempt might intensify in a final push to hold you back. But the difference now is your unwavering clarity. You see through their maneuvers instantly, greeting them with a calm, dismissive gaze that says, "Not today, not ever again." As you lean into this new realm, you sense a fresh wave of support from unexpected corners. Coincidences line up, opportunities appear as if tailor-made, and your innate talents sharpen. It's as though the universe had been waiting for you to fully commit. And in that moment of unwavering yes, everything else rushes to meet you halfway. This synergy exemplifies your unstoppable wave. Once you dare to stand aligned with your highest vision, everything conspires to accelerate your journey. In meeting your higher vision, you also meet a more potent version of yourself. Freed from illusions, bolstered by your bond with the divine, and fueled by unstoppable synergy, you stride into territory that once only lived in your hopes. It demands focus and daily renewal of your faith. But there's no sense in pretending you desire anything less. This is it. The big unveiling of the life you quietly suspected was possible. With your mind steady and your heart ablaze, you prepare to cross the threshold and make that vision your living, breathing reality. Chapter 5. Pushing through the final walls. Every journey to the next level comes with a final stretch, a gauntlet that seems to demand every ounce of what you've cultivated. For some, it's a grueling internal struggle with self-doubt that flares just as the end is in sight. For others, it's a series of external blockades, financial constraints, sudden health setbacks, or a wave of negativity from people who can't handle your ascension. Regardless of the form it takes, these walls can appear near impenetrable, as if the universe is testing you one last time before granting your full inheritance. Despite the difficulty, you recognize this final barricade for what it is, a crucible that forces you to unify your entire being. No half measures will suffice now. You must deploy your unwavering faith, your hardened discipline, your sharpened intuition, and your newly lit fire all at once. The watchers may stand at the sidelines, convinced this final test will break you, but you know better. You sense that each push they make to hold you back only confirms how monumental your next level truly is. Understand, too, that these walls aren't there to mock you, but to refine you further. They demand that you channel the unstoppable synergy you've nurtured, proving to yourself and to the cosmos that you're not just flirting with destiny, you're ready to win. Each time you confront an obstacle, you do so with a quiet command, as if you're telling the universe, I am all in. And the universe responds, opening micropaths you never spotted before. It might be a sudden spark of ingenuity, an ally stepping up at just the right moment, or an internal shift that dissolves fear instantly. The synergy you share with the divine orchestrates miracles in real time. Yet do not romanticize this final stretch. It can be downright fierce. Your nerves might jangle, your body ache from the tension, and your mind occasionally flirt with retreat. But that new vision, the higher calling, stands in the corner of your eye, unwavering. There's no turning back. You've come too far, burned too many illusions to revert to smallness. You push forward. You face one block, crash through it, and discover another layer of yourself that says, yes, we can keep going. You sense that the watchers, be they individuals or intangible forces, observe with a mixture of awe and frustration. They wanted to see you quake and crumble, but each attempt to wear you down only polishes your resilience. You begin to operate at an energy level they can't parse. Your decisions, guided by a synergy beyond logical prediction. In your eyes is that same unwavering clarity that signals no defeat is possible. Now it's only a matter of time before these walls surrender to your unstoppable momentum. At last you notice cracks forming in the final barriers. You realize this is the moment to give it your all. No second guessing, no detours, no regrets. You gather your entire spirit, every lesson from every trial, every ounce of faith that glows in your heart, and you surge. The walls groan under the pressure of a chosen one, fully awakened. Then with the thunderous shift, they give way, revealing a doorway to the next level. A realm you once believed was just a dream. Now you stand at its threshold, breathless but triumphant, ready to step through and claim the promise that called you from the start. Chapter 6. A triumph that reshapes your future. Bursting through those final walls thrusts you into a realm where the air feels lighter, yet charged with possibility. Adrenaline pounds in your veins alongside a surreal calm. You've done it. Shattered illusions and faced betrayals. This triumph extends beyond personal victory, reshaping your future in ways you can't yet fully fathom. You might celebrate or breathe in relief, yet deep inside, you sense the real adventure is only beginning. Freed from illusions, you can now sculpt a reality aligned with your true essence. No longer do you wonder if you belong. You've forged a place for yourself with each bold step. As you explore this newly claimed domain, notice how your environment shifts to match your awakened state. People respond differently, either drawn to your luminous presence or repelled by what they aren't ready to face. Opportunities once out of reach may now gravitate toward you as if recognizing a ruler returned. The watchers fade, baffled by how you escaped their labyrinth. That maze is behind you, its illusions no match for a soul that embraced unstoppable synergy. With triumph comes responsibility. Knowing illusions can be dismantled, how will you uplift others? Maybe you'll mentor or build communities where authenticity thrives. Your synergy aims not just at personal fulfillment, but also at collective awakening. This next level isn't solitary. It's an invitation to spark freedom in those who dare to look your way. At times, echoes of old fog patterns may resurface, but ascension integrates rather than erases your past. Whenever doubt creeps in, you recall conquering entire illusions. That memory becomes your shield, preventing you from shrinking again. The synergy roars louder, forging each fear into a stepping stone toward greater growth. Embrace this stage with humility, knowing your power arose not by your strength alone, but through partnership with the infinite. You were entrusted with this synergy because you answered a higher call. Each day you live now proves illusions can be undone and destinies reclaimed. Whether quietly or boldly, let your presence embody this truth. Though the watchers may linger, their hold on you is gone. Your future is sculpted by an unstoppable synergy of faith and resilience, guiding you to the realm where your potential stands unchained. Here, every step forward rings with the memory of walls you've shattered and illusions you've banished forever, shaping a path that only your awakened soul can walk. Chapter 7. A new horizon draws near. Standing on the precipice of your next level, you feel the edges of a new horizon glowing in the distance. You no longer wonder if it's real. Your spirit has proven illusions fall like ash in the presence of unwavering truth. You sense an even grander narrative unfolding, one that extends beyond your personal story into a cosmic dance of unstoppable synergy. Everything that tried to block you has failed. The watchers can only watch in stunned silence as you prepare to take yet another leap into uncharted territory. No longer do doubts smile at your every movement. Instead, you operate in a clarity that might have seemed unimaginable before. The synergy throbs with a gentle but relentless pulse, a universal chant that echoes forward, 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 and you trust it. Even if you can't see every step, you see enough to know that faith and action together craft the unstoppable momentum fueling your soul's emergence. Each day reveals some new nuance, a hidden talent you never tapped, an avenue of influence you once dismissed, a depth of love you never knew you had capacity for. It's as if life itself shifts to accommodate your ascension. People walk into your path at precisely the right time, carrying wisdom or resources you need. Your dreams sharpen, delivering messages in cryptic but stirring symbolism. You feel the gentle push to keep forging ahead. No restlessness, just purpose. You realize your transformations aren't just for you. They ripple outward, a shining example for those who still hover in uncertainty. Though you shoulder a great responsibility, you also feel a divine sense of mission that makes each step luminous. Now, as a new horizon beckons, the watchers might still linger at the periphery, staging last-ditch efforts to reclaim your narrative. But you meet their presence with a quiet smile. You no longer belong to the realm of illusions they so diligently maintain. The synergy you embody is your shield, your compass, and your unstoppable current. It's beyond their comprehension, a living pattern that no logic or manipulative ploy can decode. And so you stand, pulsating with anticipation, a sense of cosmic wind at your back. You taste the charge in the air that precedes the next quantum leap. The watchers shift uneasily, perhaps murmuring among themselves, but their chatter is lost in the roar of purpose now surging in your ears. This is the cusp of the next great unveiling, a dawning chapter that dwarfs even the victories you've already secured. In that hush, your heart swells with gratitude for every fragment of your journey, the illusions that tested your resolve, the cunning attempts to derail you, and the unstoppable synergy that always emerged triumphant when you needed it most. Each trial shaped you into the unstoppable force you stand as today and tomorrow. It all continues to expand. New wonders, new glimpses of cosmic design, new calls to transform not just yourself, but the world you touch.